Hello and welcome to Germany, site to race number 35 of the NRSL Hooters series and the final race of the round of 8. We decide the final four that will fight it out at Talladega for the Season 3 title. On the front row today is Jeff James and Matthew Marias. Row number 2 sees Alex May and Henry Powers. Row 3, Brennan Patterson and Jessica Shelton. Row number 4, Jake Baskinger and Dylan Young. Row 6, here's the rest of your starting grid. Alex May is the points leader and the only one that can actually clinch a spot in the final four with a finishing spot today. May clinches if he finishes 7th or better regardless of what else happens. The rest of the top four is Charles Sanford and Rookie of the Year contenders Time Pollard and Stephen Pollard III. I'll get to that in a moment because it's interesting for Time Pollard. The bottom four, Max Newworth, Preston Plord, Chris Louvier, and Kyle Collins, and you see it right there. Max Newworth starting on the final row. Didn't work out too badly yesterday for some people. As I was mentioning, Time Pollard in the Rookie of the Year standings, the 04 car, comes in with a chance to lock up Rookie of the Year for season number 3. All he has to do is finish 16th or better among the rookies, but something tells me Time Pollard with a little bit more on his mind today, trying to clinch a spot at Talladega. He and his sibling slash relative, Stephen Pollard III, also trying to do the same. And Stephen Pollard III is the person trying to chase.
Start your engines!
Stephen Pollard III in the 57 is the one trying to chase him down, or at least is one of the two. Mason Powers in the 88 is the other one. Either way, we saw a little bit of controversy yesterday in terms of the pace car. Let's see how well the pace car does. I might have to reset this if it doesn't go well. Okay, it clears. That's good. Now, hopefully Jeff James doesn't get too big of a lead here. And the answer is yes, he does. The 90... Okay, I was going to say the 90 got scored as the race leader. Matthew Marias does go across the line, okay. But Jeff James now the victim from yesterday's standards. Meanwhile, Brennan Patterson with a great job trying to go to the race lead will do so. The AmeriQuest Ford. Matthew Marias grabs the spot back. Trying to go for Rookie of the Year is Marias. I don't think he's actually anywhere in contention now for that. Meanwhile, Kyle Matthews going for second right now. Should be mentioned that this is the Dollar General 300, so Jonathan Zorline, I know for a fact, is one of the cars wanting to do well. Started back in the back of the field. And, yeah, 33 doesn't have one of those type sponsorships. So, Kyle Matthews, though, quickly to the lead. The Great Clips Dodge goes to the top spot. Laps Jeff James, who now tries to drive it in deep, not able to do so. Alex May doing what he needs to do. He's running second. That will clinch him a spot in the next round no matter what. Remember, going into Talladega, no matter what, they are all going to be tied, whoever the four are that advance. Charles Sanford, who came in just 4 points, I didn't mention it, comes in 4 points ahead of Stephen Pollard III. Second through fourth coming into this race, separated by just 4 points. But right now, Sanford, the second of the chasers, would advance as well. Looking for where some of the other ones are. I don't see them right now, not at least up towards the front of the field. Meanwhile, Kyle Collins is at the back. He was 8th in points coming in. He's now running 42nd. And Mason Powers, one of the Rookie of the Year contenders, is back here as well. Would be lowest among the rookies, which would eliminate him from... Well, now he just passed Zach Kreller. Either way, that would still eliminate him from Rookie of the Year contention. Meanwhile, Jeff James still trying to frantically get his lap back. The Aaron's Dodge. Not able to get there yet. Should be actually in second, in all honesty, but just unfortunately one of the things that comes with this track a little bit every once in a while. Meanwhile, Charles Sanford, now up into 4th, has gone past Henry Powers, who is one of the other chasers that's been eliminated already. Kyle Matthews, another one of them. And Kyle Collins still trying to get around Zach Kreller. That would be for 40th. Oh yeah, that's right, because the 99. I was trying to think of why. But either way, Kyle Collins now goes 1 lap down to the race leader, so the yellow freight Chevy, not in a good spot right now, is about ready to be shotgun on the field as Jeff James makes the pass. And Alex May will put the 00 a lap down compared to him as well, so... Meanwhile, other cars going a lap down, Marcus Bruno and Amanda Shelley. 60 laps here as well, just like in the truck race, so we'll have to see how that can go. Mace, I just heard crashing. I heard a crash. I don't see a crash. Okay then. Bram Patterson now grabs 2nd away as Kyle Matthews continues to put a tear on some of these lap cars right now. Has put Cosmic Nova, Amanda Shelley, Mason Neal, Marcus Bruno all a lap down. And has lapped up to the 36th position right now. Meanwhile, Bram Patterson just now putting Mason Powers a lap down in comparison to his Ford. Mason Neal, Cosmic Nova nearly with some contact there, trying to battle for position. That for the 37th position. Here comes Mason Neal back up the middle. And right now Marcus Bruno just got towards the inside of Kyle Matthews, or at least tried to, was not able to stay there. And trouble on the front straightaway, the pole sitter. Matthew Marias has gone over. And problems for Sky Commons. He will go to the pit lane as well. He makes it cleanly. And that actually did more for, I think, Kyle Matthews in terms of lapping cars right there. Now up to 31st is 1 lap down. It did shrink the lead down a little bit, though, I think. Meanwhile, Zach Kreller, who was a lap down, got a lap back and all that. And Max Newworth trying to race his way up through the field, currently in the now 30th position. Going to have to try and stay on the lead lap here. Is not going to do a very good job of it, though. He's trying to hang on. He's going to have to try and get to the back bumper of the 1 car here if he can. And this is big for Newworth. 5th in the points coming in. He's behind the other guys who he's trying to race. And I don't know what that's going to do. Let's see. Sky Commons, Matthew Marias, both out of the race. So that's 1 less rookie now in the race still. So in terms of Time Pollard, who only had to finish 16th among the rookies today, that's 1 down. There's 19 rookies in this field, so 1 down, about 3 to go. Falling out now, basically the lowest that Time Pollard can do is 3 points. He has to score 5. Yeah, so he's got 2 more rookies to go before he can clinch it before we even end the race. Meanwhile, Newer still trying to fend off from Kyle Matthews. Now Kyle gets there. And Jay Stella just in front of the leaders, the most recent winner in the series. And a smoker in front is Chris Louvier, one of the chasers, and that's going to be it for him. So it comes down to 7. Because Louvier was already one of the bottom 4 coming in. So Louvier done for the day. And that's a saving grace, I guess, for some of them. Breathing a little bit easier, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say there. Jessica Shelton has fallen back. She was running top 10 at one point. Now in the 24th position, goes a lap down. and has some hood damage to the 98. Zach Kreller just brake checked the race leader, and that's going to allow Matt Dixon to get back on the lead lap, and Kyle Matthews just tried to dive bomb the one, maybe try and take him out a little bit there as a sign of frustration. Meanwhile, Patterson getting around the lap cars a little bit, but losing time, picked up 0.08 of a second that lap. Meanwhile, Newer still trying to just get back on the tail end of the lead lap. Jay Stella looks to have some sort of damage there, as Jessica Shelton just trying to hang on now for dear life, I think. Here comes Johnny Gardner. That's a battle for position with the 9 of Charles Sanford. And Gardner just sent Sanford wide a little bit. That's going to cost Sanford a few spots, as now he loses one to Gardner, loses one to Henry Powers as well, as Powers is on the lead lap. And Sanford's still going to free fall some positions here. That's actually not a battle for position with Dylan Thoreau, nor with Mason Neal or the 77 Jonathan Zorline. So Sanford not able to get to the inside, but not losing positions yet either, as Kazuyoshi now runs in third. And there are still 2 lap cars between Kyle Matthews and the 17 of Brennan Patterson. So far we haven't seen the drama that we saw yesterday, which I'm kind of glad about. That was kind of interesting to see the race leader get turned yesterday. Kyle Matthews, though, just kind of on cruise control right now. Jake Baskinger with damage to the rear end of his car. And Mary Shelley makes the move there. That's for a spot in the top 20. Kyle Matthews had to brake check off the corner. So too did Matt Dixon. And that's now going to be 23rd place, going 1 lap down. And all these spots just helping Max Newworth a little bit if he can gain them. If he can pass them, the more lap cars that Kyle Matthews puts a lap down, the easier his time might be. As Chris Louvier goes behind the wall, that will officially end his chase hopes. Right now it's looking pretty good that the top 4 coming in are going to be the top 4 leaving. There's Stephen Pollard III in 16th, but he is ahead of Louvier and Newworth. Not ahead of Preston, but not by a great deal either. There's Time Pollard. And there's Alex May. And there's Sanford. Collins is a lap down in 31st. So the 4 cars that are struggling right now in terms of the chasers are the 4 cars that had to actually hope for something to happen. So right now, if Alex May, Charles Sanford, Time Pollard, and Stephen Pollard III just keep their cars on the track, they will be the final 4 at Talladega. Also worth mentioning, Stephen Pollard III behind Time Pollard on track. That would clinch the Rookie of the Year for Time Pollard in the 04, who currently runs in the 10th position right now. So I mentioned he just had to finish 16th among rookies. He's actually running top 10 on the track right now. So what does that tell you? Cosmic Nova's been been rear-ended by someone today. Just a rough day for Kyle Collins. Meanwhile, trying to find, there's Max Newworth getting lapped by Brennan Patterson. Needs to let him go quickly. Meanwhile, Stephen Pollard III has been put a lap down in 20th. And Kyle Matthews now going to put Dylan Young, or try to put Dylan Young, trying to put Preston Plord also a lap down. So with just under 15 to go, Preston Plord now in the 19th position on the racetrack, goes 1 lap down to the leader, and also will lose a spot to Eric Powers. Now Dylan Young in 18th goes 1 lap down. So Kyle Matthews setting a blistering pace right now. No one really able to get back to the 38 right now, who has granted the second quickest lap of the race right now. We'll put Jessica Shelton now 1 lap down. That is the, that's actually 2 laps down now for the 39, or for the 98, I mean. 2 laps down for Shelton, so she's actually really having a tough time tonight. And gonna probably try and let Preston go here, I guess. Not much that Shelton can really fight for there in the 98 car until someone else goes 2 laps down. Under 10 to go, though, for Kyle Matthews till we decide the final 4. And not as much drama as I would have expected here for this track, in all honesty, as Brennan Patterson trying to put Zach Kreller a lap down in comparison. Max Newworth gaining spots up to 22nd. Now 21st. Has actually passed. That's big. He's passed Stephen Pollard III. That's 3, 6, 9-point separation right now is 22. Can Newworth make up enough ground? They came in 22 points separated. Right now he's gaining 9. That's going to be 12 points separation now. The battle's going to come down to the 57 versus... It's going to come down to the 57 versus the 4. And now Pollard's actually gaining spots as there's 5 laps to go. Stephen Pollard III back onto the inside line, which is what he needs to have happen. I think he's going to be able to hang on to this. 4 to go. And Preston Plord now has gone a lap down. Plord was 43 points back coming in. That's 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough there, and I don't think Kyle's going to lap enough cars for Preston here. 2 laps to go for Kyle Matthews, though. And it looks like as long as Stephen Pollard III can go and maintain position, he should advance. Provided I have the correct math, at least. White flag for Kyle Matthews. 1 lap to go from Velton's Arena. And coming through the final corner, it'll be Kyle Matthews going to victory lane in Germany. He wins the Dollar General 300. And they're going to end up scoring just 10 cars on the lead lap. So, actually, even less than that. They're going to only score 6 cars on the lead lap here. As we have the chaos on the back straightaway that normally happens. So, Kyle Matthews wins today. Brennan Patterson second. Kazuyoshi, Henry Powers, Johnny Gardner, Chris Washer, Charles Sanford, Matt Balding, Alex May, and Time Pollard, the top 10. This is what I can confirm. Sanford, May, and Time Pollard are 3 of the 4. Also, I can confirm that Time Pollard is your Season 3 Rookie of the Year. With what has happened or transpired tonight. And I think I know who the 4th person's going to be, but I'm not going to put my money on it right now, in all honesty. I think I know who did. So, that's how I'll put it. We'll take a look at what happened to Sky Commons, Matthew Morais, and Chris Louvier, though. And then, that will be basically it for the Hooters Series race. And we are back. Here's what happened to Matthew Morais. Was running 8th at the time, and he's trying to pass the 9, does not do so, slides up right in front of Jessica Shelton. So that's where Shelton got her damage, which basically ended her night somewhat, or at least ended competitiveness for the night. And as Mariah tries to get this car turned back around, here comes the 33 of Sky Commons, and boop! Up and over goes Mariah. It's been a rough rookie year for him. That Sport Clip Chevy. And it would end the night on its roof. Dylan Thoreau also got held up. Same for Zorline, Maxwell Chan. Oh, Nova actually ran into Powers. So that's basically what happened there. And that's one reason why we had such a big cluster up over there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened to the 41. Pretty simple actually for Chris Louvier. The Ganassi Dodge would just have the motor expire and then actually would take out Jerry Shelley along with them. So that would be how Chris Louvier's chase hopes would end, up in a plume of smoke. So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Congrats to Kyle Matthews on a dominant effort here today in the Dollar General 300. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe today as we have sign-up videos right around the corner. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.